Hello everybody, this is Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading again, just kind of a short video. I always say it's going to be short, but it never is because I can talk forever. Anyway, it's Wednesday, February 26th, and I've named her Fluffer Nutter. Here. You want to say hello to YouTube? Say, I have the prettiest green eyes on the planet. Somebody dumped me here, and all I want to do is eat. I eat all day long. Unless popcorn comes and harasses me, and he does that from time to time. But look at her. Look at little Fluffer. Hi. Hello. Hi. Yes, you little Fluffer Nutter. You just show your pretty eyes. Oh, you do the pretty eyes. Look. Okay, so she was dumped here. I saw another cat over the last 2 days, mostly white. He's definitely a boy. He's big. He looks like a nice cat. He's been coming here to eat too. Well, the new owners will have some cats, just the way when I moved here, there were cats on the property. May or may not have been deliberate. I think the former owner, Travis Sparks, was feeding the cats. And I received a comment, you know, how beautiful the property is, and it is. I'll show you here. It goes all the way down to that road. That's the county creek there. And all the way up there, and that borders the state of Kentucky forestry. All the way back in there. All the way back there. I actually have a video from, I think 2 years ago, where I'm following the water. The water had been low and I was in the creek. And then I'm halfway up there and it downpours and I get soaking wet and I had to end the video. But here's Zoomy. So the comment was that my local neighbors and criminals, they're really pissed off because I guess evidently people looked up my property and see what it's selling for. It's selling for $584,000. And originally when I posted it, you kind of have to prove that that's what it's worth. So after I provided the land survey, when it was originally posted, it increased in value by $50,000. And I have updated my deeds to reflect $584,000. And that's what it's going to sell for, or more, because people are looking for this property. And no, you're absolutely right, subscriber, that my neighbors, they couldn't afford the property at $125,000 in 2019. You would think that all these local criminals, who can't afford a house for $125,000 when you're living here paying literally zero property taxes? My property taxes here, if I weren't a senior citizen getting the exemption, my property taxes would be $400. $400, not 4,000, 400. My property taxes in New Jersey right now, if I would have stayed there, would be close to $15,000. $15,000. My property taxes here would be $400. If you can't afford a $125,000 house with a $400 property tax, what have you been doing for 50 years of your life? I don't understand. I mean, please, if you're not a targeted individual, not for the targeted people out there, we know how your assets strip, but regular people who've been working 50 years, or not 50, starting from the age of 20, let's say, who can't afford a $125,000 house paying $400 a year property taxes? I don't get it. Right? I don't get it, Zoomy. What do you have to say about it? I know. So if they couldn't afford $125,000 in 2019, do you think they're going to afford it now? That's why they're vandalizing. I had 2 greenhouses here. I had a huge high tunnel greenhouse right here that they started slicing and it tore it down. I had 2 greenhouses right here, slicing it, denting it, tore it down. They did the same thing with all my shrubs here. They started slicing them and then burning the tips. They infected my fruit trees last year. Then 2 years in a row, somebody from up that block, and then my neighbors, you know, the Scarlet family member, drove into my outer field and totally tore it up. And of course, that's Jezebel's house. You know, Jezebel with the blue lights on, the pathological liar who keeps sending animals my way. I wonder how much money she gets paid every time I take one of the animals she finds. But you're absolutely right. They're pissed off, and they're going to do whatever they can do to damage my property. And it's not just the neighbors. It's the local government. Because I'll tell you that piece of crap lawyer, prosecutor, county lawyer, Ross Murray, when I moved here and my neighbors were trespassing my property after I had a survey, he had the audacity to threaten me with eminent domain. How do you have the audacity after I'm living here a year? My neighbors are illegally trespassing my property and you threatening me, and you're trespassing on my property too? What kind of piece of crap lawyer are you? Oh yeah, I forgot. You're the corrupt one. The gaslighter. But, you know, in the comment section, people have told me, oh, don't get so angry at him. He's only the middleman. There wouldn't be a middleman if he didn't go along to get along. And the fact that he's a liar, you know, lawyer, liar, they're kind of saying, it says the same, sounds the same, lawyer, liar, is bad, just really bad. But the whole purpose of this video, also in responding to subscriber comments, thank you so much for that. Of course they're pissed off. I'm not going to sell to them. I learned my lesson when I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, and that copper came into my house. Now, what kind of copper that has 3 kids doesn't go into the backyard when he's looking at a new property? He walked in my house, walked upstairs, and literally, that's a criminal there. Yeah, that's a Jezebel with the blue lights on, whose blue lights are off now. But please tell me, if you have 3 kids and you're looking to purchase a house in Manalapan, New Jersey, and you walk in with your wife, here comes the gang-stalking crew. You walk in with your wife, the first car, second one. You walk in with your wife, you've got 3 kids. You walk into the house, you walk around, just quickly look around. You don't look in cabinets, you don't look in the closets, you don't look at anything. Then you walk upstairs, you're up there for literally 2 minutes, come down and never go into the backyard, which was gorgeous. Leaves. I called my realtor at the time, Jennifer Sabotsky, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name, gorgeous woman, ethical, etc. I call her, I said, I don't think he's interested. He didn't even go into the backyard. She said, oh, well, that's a shame, you know. A little bit while later, she calls back and I have a job offer. I have an offer on the house. And I'm thinking, this is bizarre. And you know, when you have an offer on the house, you don't know anything about the individual other than that they go through an attorney, they go through their let me zoom this back out. They go through their realtor until you get the papers, and then you find out what they do for a living. So I didn't know when I received the offer that he was a cop. I didn't know. There's no way to know. And then I found out that he was a cop. And I realized, you know what? They were saving my gorgeous house for one of their own. And that's what they do. But unfortunately here, I don't think any of their own can afford this property. They're going to have to get an investor, you know, like the tree masons. They're going to have to get their tree mason investors to buy this property. So anyway, something else I wanted to tell you, which is really hilarious. And see, they're going into this field also. Let me show you what they did here. Here, here. All of this. Here, here, here. This is all newly burned. You can see it. It's all newly burned. ChatGPT's got my back. That video that I posted last night, the thumbnail was created by AI. And I don't always like all the thumbnails that AI creates, but the ones that I do like, I'll use. Well, now that one I had to recreate twice, and it still turned up wrong. If you look at the spelling of experiment, it's Xperment. So the first time ChatGPT generated the image, it was spelled incorrectly. So I said, could you please correct the spelling too? And I wrote the correct spelling. And it regenerated another image, still with the incorrect spelling. And then I was out of free images. And I thought to myself, I think there's a reason for this. I think ChatGPT's got my back. If I had written, and that's why you'll see it incorrectly spelled in the heading and incorrectly spelled in the thumbnail, that ChatGPT's got my back. So what do you think? Inquiring minds like to know. Please leave a comment down below. And we'll go see, before I sign off, we can go see the chickie poos. And this is what they've done to my property here. They have completely dug up all the grass. It's hard to tell unless you're walking on it and it's raining. It's greasy, muddy. Over here, there's absolutely no grass. None. No grass. All around here. They want to make it appear as if the chickens did it, but they didn't. All around here. What they've been doing is they're doing the same thing that they did by the culvert. They're digging up around here. They dug it all up here. You can see over here. You see how they chopped away here? Look. They're doing this. They chopped away here. It's to create mud conditions, make it appear unsightly. And this kind of soil, it's very difficult to replace because it's mixed with rock. In fact, when I had this deck installed, oh, that's another story for another day. When it was installed and they were removing the soil, I had them move it to the back field. I was going to use it for my garden beds, filled with rock, total rock. So wherever you walk here, this is not clay. It's just not regular clay. So it's covered in rock because I'm just going to say it for the record. And that's another reason why they want my land is for the minerals. I'm just going to say it out there, out loud, the minerals on the property. The minerals, the foraging, the morel mushrooms, and other things that I won't mention. But for those interested in buying a homestead, it's for sale. I think it's a bargain, actually, because it's got 3 different driveways. So you can easily divide this property. I already have separate deeds for property, so I can easily divide it up. Although while I'm living here, it'd be a little difficult to have somebody else dividing up the property, except for the top of the hill. Those 3.1 acres up there, really nice property. And you too could live next door to my ski mask neighbor. But I guarantee they will not bother you. If you are interested in my property, you will not be bothered by these criminals. They will have their tail between their legs. The little weenies will be tied in knots. Because if you are a married couple and you want this property, nobody's going to bother you. I guarantee it. Nobody will bother you. They're predators. They prey on single women. They're envious and jealous and greedy. They can't create for themselves, so they have to steal from others. And that's why, we can get on this topic for another day, that's why the big pharma and all of the things that they use on the public dulls the senses, dulls the creativity in people. That's the goal. They want to control everything. But anyway, that's my rant for today. I'm just going to show you the vandalism here. It just keeps getting worse. And this is not done by an animal. These are inhumans. They sliced. This was in perfect condition when I moved from New Jersey, and they sliced it. They sliced it down the middle. Then they scraped it. You can see the scrapes here. Then they cut the corners here. Scrape, scrape, scrape. And I'm just leaving it here as evidence. Just leaving it as evidence. It was covered in snow, actually. It just melted. The snow just melted. Oh, and Chewy, by the way, is sending me a new bag of litter. Likely via Federal Express. But I want you to see, the sky was beautiful when I woke up, and then they started spraying it, and look, it's all white, and now it's cloudy. So yeah, so for anybody who's interested in purchasing land, a homestead, I also have a huge garage, huge, it's like 40 feet, I think it's like 40 by 20 or 40 by 22. It's a great garage. It's got shelves. The former owner, Travis Sparks, built all kinds of shelves in there because he did all kinds of woodwork and stuff. And he had his old antique vehicles in that. You can put 4 vehicles in that garage up there. 4 cars up there. That's the pavilion that was open when I moved here. It was inspected and there was no roof leak. And of course, when I moved here, there was a roof leak. So I replaced the roof, I enclosed it, installed windows, flooring and stuff, steel door, locks. It's wired with electricity. There's no water in there yet. But the criminals have prevented me from doing anything. I've spent more than $10,000 on that building and it's not finished yet. But for anybody that wants to purchase this property, this is an amazing, amazing, beautiful property. And you have no neighbors anywhere back there. 0 neighbors. Foxes, a couple of bobcats, some deer. No neighbors. 0 neighbors back there. And back there, no neighbors back there either. 0. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm going to sign off for now. It's very weird. It's not supposed to rain today. But look at what they did. They just completely blocked out the sun. But I hope everybody's doing well. And thank you, subscriber, for your comments. And thank you also for mentioning about the scalar waves. It's not just microwaves. I'm trying to think what else. I'm not deleting your comments. Generally, anybody that puts a URL in the comments section, unless if it's a YouTube URL, sometimes they'll leave it there. Sometimes I need to review it, which I haven't done yet. I haven't even checked my emails yet. It's like close to 11 o'clock. So I'm going to have to go. I'm going to sign off for now.